And I've pushed the button.
You've pushed the button on episode 52 of the Ladies Wot Pod. I can't believe that it's episode 52, although it's been more than a year because we did have some weeks off. What a week to have episode 52. South Africa, the most southern part of Europe. Ridiculous.
Right on the edge, Douse tells us.
Right on the edge of Europe, yeah. Anyway, welcome, ladies and gents and others who identify as possibly Dazzle the Zebra, who knows. Welcome to Ladies Wot Pod. I am Liz Saunders, chairman of the Saints Supporters Club, amongst other things, general rugby geek and Norse and Chief Halo. And I live in South Northamptonshire. And you are?
Claire Jones, owner of a red hat, usually seen with a camera stuck to my face. And yes, well, what a win. What a win.
Could I just point out, before we get into that,
yes, Jimmy,
for those watching on YouTube, and if you watch on Spotify, which I believe some people do, Jimmy, the gnome, is in a festive wreath that now has litted up Father Christmases around him as well.
Very festive, Jimmy.
Doesn't want to feel left out. Yeah.
Top work, Jimmy. Top work.
Right, so on to the trip to South Africa, which looked like a ball. I must admit, they looked like they were having really good time on safari and everything.
Yeah,
and then I was worried.
Then they played the ball at Loftus Verveld, a somewhat intimidating place to go. Had the look of a Croke Park about it, I thought. But yes, beautiful sunshine, 30-odd degree heat, and of course a lot of altitude. I was worried. I was worried for Finn and George Hendy particularly. I hope they got factor 50 on. I didn't want to see anybody coming off that pitch like a boiled lobster. I did like the fact that Finn was practicing during the week wearing a hat. He had his wide-brimmed hat on. That's very good. Yeah, well done, Finn. Yes.
Probably, his mother's not a nurse for no reason, is she? He's probably been saying all his life, put your hat on.
He put his hat on. He was a good lad. So, yes, I was at the Gardens because, of course, Loughborough Lightning were playing 2 hours after the kick-off in South Africa. The Lightning team were playing Quins. More of that shortly. And I decided I wasn't going to try and avoid the score because it was impossible. Partly because there was a bar full of Saints supporters and Loughborough supporters behind me in the members' bar. And the reason they were in the members' bar was because the Rodber was being used for a Christmas party. So there was much to-ing and fro-ing between the bar and the stand for the game. So I started the afternoon listening to Lenny and Graham, who were also in Northampton in the studio, watching it on
presumably watching the telly.
They were watching the telly, yes. So yes, and I didn't first live. I didn't see much of the game, and I only heard bits of it. The IT department kept visiting to say, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And so it was all a bit nervous, to say the least.
It was. It will come as no surprise to those of you who know me. I was in here. I was making a skirt for a christening. That was my excuse. I put the zip in very badly because it was all a bit tense. But my IT department kept popping in and going, oh, so-and-so's just scored. Ferbs has gone off. That doesn't look good. But George is on. George has just scored.
Yes, super subs on again. Scores.
Yeah.
It was tense stuff. Can I just say that we're going to talk about media watch in a bit, but it does make it quite hard when when the two people you're supposedly listening to have no connection with either country of the team. I preferred listening to two South Africans, to be absolutely frank.
Yeah, they sounded quite good.
I love Mark Robson because I have a soft spot. Oh, you've disappeared. Where are you going? She's moving side to side.
Just moving slightly. So
yeah, that's better. Yeah. No connection whatsoever. I don't know what game they were watching, but it wasn't the one I was watching. And it was getting quite frustrating. Luke Ramos, I thought, refereed really well. He had to put up with a lot of old nonsense. And I thought he handled everything particularly well. But it was all a bit not a pleasant watch because, very difficult.
I have watched it back, or some of it back, since knowing the score, so I could watch it without getting the blood pressure machine is here, ready to be called into use again. And the whole build up to it, which I did watch, you'd have thought there was only one team playing. They did not give us a hope in hell. It's all about the Bulls have been this and that, and it's altitude and it's hot, and the Bulls have done this and the other. Wasn't even anything negative about Saints. It was just no mention of Saints. And they're playing a team of invisible men, obviously.
It was very weird. It was incredibly weird. And it made for really weird watching. Now, I have to say, this is the first game. I've missed 3 games since January 2013. I try and get to every game. This was just a step too far for me. As we said last week, travelling on your own with an awful lot of expensive kit wasn't a sensible. Despite the obvious great time that everybody who did go had, I wasn't prepared to take the risk. But I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I hated not being there. And I did my usual thing of checking where the photographers were. The first thing I've got to say is all the photographers got Investec bucket hats.
Did they?
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't have worn mine because, of course, I wear my red hat. So it would have been my baseball cap. But still...
But that's not the point.
That's not the point.
I'm a bit worried.
Where are they?
I'm a bit worried, though. I'm not sure that the Dazzle biscuits would have stood up to that heat.
Oh, no. The icing would have been all over the show. Oh, I actually have a confession. So, we did the tasting on the last video, and I had a bit left. My intent was to give a little bit to the IT department so that my IT so he could try it. Well, I absent-mindedly ate it. But worse than that, I then offered him a piece, having forgotten that I'd just eaten it.
Oh, that's doubly harsh.
That wasn't it? Yeah,
here's what you could have won.
Those were exactly his words. Yes.
Oh dear. Oh, poor IT. I didn't even offer my IT department any. No.
Yes, so there were bucket hats for people of the media that they could wear. They're very fetching, they were too. And it did look, the light looked amazing. The photos look fabulous, the ones I've seen. So, yes, I am a bit jealous. But I actually think I did the sensible thing and stayed, but I did hate it. I absolutely loathed it. Should we pick out some performances? Because there were quite a few, weren't there?
Oh, my goodness me, there were. Oh, goodness me, there were. Where should we start? Well, having Mitch back running the show, he gives Finn that extra couple of seconds of time that just the two of them just bamboozling defences again, pulling people left, right and centre. Absolutely superb. The Dingers Hutch combination worked sublimely well. Fremo being Fremo, charging around, doing stuff.
Doing Fremo things.
Both the Georges doing Fremo things. Both the Georges at fullback, and Ferb's got, I don't know what you've done, but I hope it's not as bad as it looked and you're back soon.
And all of you on social media wanting to know what's wrong with him, show a bit of patience. He's on the other side of the sodding world. Well, hopefully he's on his own or his own. But please, how many posts did I see? And what has happened to George? Well, I nearly started responding to them. He hurt his arm. Because seriously, guys, it's none of our business. The club will tell us, and George will tell us when he's ready. So calm down. Yeah. And we have two very good fullbacks. I know they're not England players. Well, one's Australian, so he's not likely to be. In James Ram and George Hendy. So let's just calm. And again, we had it with Mitch's injury, and now we've got it with George's injury.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
Yeah. So that's the backs. So that's backs, dealt with the backs. So the front row, I thought, considering when Big Trev came on, we had a whole different gravy. I'm having none of that. Put the shorts up and in we go. Yeah.
Yes.
That was quite a good impression there, wasn't it?
Very good impression. I think Elliot and Manny put in a shift.
They did.
They had, you know, there's some
that's one of the
50 kilograms. For God's sake,
that's one of, and they are two of the world's best scrummagers. Those South African companies, apparently.
You know,
so you know.
Well done, guys. Well battled.
Whoever you were on social media, wind your neck in.
Yeah.
And Curtis. Well, Curtis was just Curtis, really. Just
who ended up in the fight? Yes, you've guessed it.
Well, to be fair, who started the fight, and then who ended up in the fight?
And that'll be Curtis Langdon and Henry Pollock.
Absolutely right. You could have put money on. Well, you couldn't. Nobody would have taken a bet like that, would they? An absolute.
They'd have given you horrific odds. You'd have got about 10p back for your pound.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So second row. Oh, Tom Lockett gets a mention in the Telegraph's write-up, I think. Something I've read today.
Absolutely should get a mention.
Absolutely played superbly well.
Absolutely brilliant service. God, that guy's got an engine on him. And well done to Tamo and Chunya who came on. Alex Coles was the giraffe. Clearly, the giraffes he'd seen in Safari had inspired him.
Oh, are we back to having them running against? Of course we are, because we had that once before, didn't we? Where the forwards were rampaging across.
Yes, well, he was rampaging. Yes. But the person I think who deserves, of course, there was Henry. Henry, who's just jackling, winning ball, being annoying.
Yeah, absolutely.
And actually, nobody mentioned, and we were remiss because we didn't. Nobody mentioned that he was the most. Actually, I think we might have done. He's the most experienced in South Africa of any of the 23 because he played there in the summer.
Yeah.
So he knew what it was like. I mean, obviously he was playing in their winter, but still he knew what the crowds were going to be like, what it was going to, you know. So the person I think who deserves a huge amount of praise and has been through a difficult few weeks because he's announced he's leaving at the end of the season, and it was his brother's wedding in South Africa. Is Joanno. So he was huge on Saturday.
He was enjoying showing his countrymen what he got.
And I don't know who was picking the player of the match.
Oh, what on earth? How? Well, I know who it was. It was the two South Africans commentating for Premier Sport for South Africa.
Well, guys,
ridiculous.
You probably got the wrong number 8, but we're not. Yeah, we will be choosing our Ladies Wot Pod player of the match in a minute. But seriously, no.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, so that was brilliant. One of those memorable wins that, you know, unfortunately we weren't there this time. But, you know, it was up there with that win in Dublin that nobody expected us to do, and Munster last season, Glasgow last season.
Ulster in 2012.
Ulster, yeah. So well done, the boys. I mean, it's still there is the question about the ridiculousness of having South African teams in the competition. I don't think they should be, and then to have them flaming well whinge about the distance they've got. It's the same. We have to travel the same distance, just in the other direction, and you chose to come into this competition. Nobody made you. You chose. So shush. Yeah. And There are suggestions on some comments on, I think it's Brian Moore's column in the Telegraph about, well, ditch the South Africans. They can play in the URC, but ditch them from the challenge in the cup game, and they can play against each other down there, and we'll go back to the tried and tested format of pools of 4, home and away, which is far more fun.
Far more fun, particularly the double header in December, which everybody enjoyed. Yeah. And also going to places in the autumn, such as Paris in the autumn is a much different prospect.
October is brilliant.
Yeah, than January. Yes. So we do need to pick our Ladies Wot Pod player of the match.
Right. Well, I'm conflicted because it could go to any one of them, to be honest. I think Mitch's moves were outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. And again, on the Telegraph website, they do an analysis of how important he was and the stuff pulling people. His vision is so fantastic that allows Finn time to do stuff. Oh, and the 50-22 one that he did as well. I mean, I'm pitching for Mitch, to be honest. That's what I'm pitching for.
Oh.
Yeah. Persuade me otherwise.
Well, I'd pitch for Drano because he just terrorised. He just terrorised them, and they didn't know what to do in their own backyard. His carrying was huge, and it made a massive difference. And to go into the changing room at half-time, ironically, it's the pair of them working together. That score before half-time was just... But his ball carrying throughout the game, top draw. Absolutely top draw. Ooh.
Could they share it? We don't give them anything. We don't give them anything anyway.
Well, I think we should, because I think that 9-8 combination
was
life
the difference.
Very, very difficult for the South Africans.
Yeah.
So I think, yes. So well done, guys. And then we've got the Sgt Wilson Award.
Yes. Poor Sgt Wilson himself had to go off, and hopefully we'll get better soon. So we're thinking Dingers, the Deputy Sgt Wilson. Lovely boy. So polite at all times.
There was a lot of Would You Mind Awfully. And Luke Ramos seemed perfectly happy to talk to the stand-in skipper, who I thought played beautifully throughout the game, but also managed what was going on in difficult circumstances. I think a little hat tip to Birger Ogendal, who wasn't actually playing at all, but he was with the on the bench with the substitutes and the S&C guys and the like, holding the fort, and Joanno joined him with the locals.
Yes, I did see.
He would have understood what was being said. Yeah. So Berger explained a few things. Well done, Berger.
Yeah. And they led the Shoe Army song, didn't they?
They did. They did, yes. Berger and Joanno led the Shoe Army song. And, and there were some great pictures. Vesti must have been chewing on a wall. Actually, Vesti's in one of them. He's looking quite happy. He's obviously relaxed about having team photos, because to go all that way to win and not have a team pic would have been a bit churlish. So well done.
Yes.
Well done, Mr. Vesti, calming down on that front.
Well, I suppose he can possibly validate it by going, well, we were on tour, so it's a tour pick rather than a.
Yes,
I think he'll have put applied some Munster,
but he still wasn't happy. Anyway,
no, but it's not. No, it's not really like being on.
Right.
No, it's not like being away for a week, is it? Just talking about being on tour. There was Curtis, I think, had put a pic on Insta of them on the plane, and in this, as he's doing a pan around, there's Langdon Minor sitting there. Obviously, I can't believe what's happening. And then you see him later on in some other pictures, I think, on safari, and it's just, this is just amazing. This is just awesome. Look at me. I'm in South Africa.
But it does support my thesis that it's really good for the players. It's not so good for the supporters.
Yeah.
So well done. Now, where do we end up as a result?
Yes, where do we? Do Do tell Mrs. J where we end up as a result, because
I think we might swap, or we might change our little running order slightly because it runs into Media Watch quite nicely.
Yeah.
The seedings as they currently go, well, in the 4 groups, let's just do Group 1 or A or whatever it is. It's Toulouse, who are ahead on points difference from Bordeaux. They have 10 points. In the second group, it's La Rochelle, who have 9 points. We, in our group, are top with 10 points, ahead of Saracens on 9. And then Toulon...
You wouldn't know that, would you? You wouldn't know that to listen to them last night.
She's straight in there, ladies and gentlemen. And then it's Toulon on 8 points. They were saying, it's a fabulous game against Glasgow. Well, it was gritty, but it wasn't fabulous. I'm sorry.
Well, more cards than a poker game.
Yeah, but it really, I mean, it was gritty. It was, but it wasn't fabulous.
Gnarly.
No. Gnarly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was some question whether Matthew Carley really just hates Lewis.
Well, yes. Although poking the bear, guys, I mean, that's why we invented the Sgt Wilson Award, because we have learned that poking the bear doesn't, in the end, win you any friends.
Get you anywhere.
Doesn't get you anywhere. And unfortunately, Exeter didn't notice that either, because I'd love to count up the number of times they were marched back 10 yesterday.
They didn't have a good day, did they?
No.
What was the final result? Remind
60 odd to not very many.
Yeah.
Because they were trying, I think it was 20 odd, because they were trying to get a bonus point try. And it didn't kind of happen. No.
Yeah, there you go. Shame, because such a young side, you know.
We shouldn't laugh. Anyway, the reason I mentioned that, Little League, was if you'd read the predictions at the start of the competition, there are 2 names who are noticeable by their absence.
Yeah. Both begin with B.
B! And they go in the West Country. That'll be Bath and Bristol Bears.
Bristol.
Where are you?
Losing is where they are.
Didn't we win in Italy? Anyway.
Yeah, with the final kick of the game. If you remember, Dan.
And we got booed off the pitch. Anyway.
We got booed off the pitch. And then we drank them out of Prosecco, so that'll learn them.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, so Media Watch, depending which newspaper you read, either Saints weren't mentioned at all, or in the case of the Times, they actually, Stuart Barnes actually says we actually rescued the competition with our efforts in South Africa. 3 losses for the South African teams, and 2 of whom sent out weakened sides, does rather call into question, what's going on here.
They shouldn't be there.
However,
Absolutely
French teams are doing the same. So, it was very weird which Racing team turned up in Manchester. So there's some, the competition seems to have a problem. Very weird. But
it always has with the French teams, particularly if they've not, they've always, if they don't think they stand a chance in it, they've never fielded good sides. And certainly by the time we get to the second half of the competition, you could almost guarantee that Cass probably won't bother. It's sort of.
Well, they didn't bother last week. They put their first teamers on in the second half. Media Watch, we don't exist, which is the reason for this pod. So we do exist. We put in a fabulous performance, and where are you? Now, of course, we are recording this on Monday evening, so, look east.
Look east might have us, who knows? I doubt it, though. South Africa's a bit too far south. It's out of the region. We can't come to. No link. There's no link to Norwich. So
anyway, yes. Anyway, thank you, Stuart Barnes. Obviously, meeting Liz has had an effect because effusive praise for the Saints.
Yes, been haloed. So that was it. Yeah.
Well done, Liz. Well done.
Okay. But yes, I mean, just to go back to Premier TV, because yesterday afternoon they were yattering on about Saracens on 9 points and how marvellous they were. And I think on our WhatsApp group, what did I say? Oh, yes, of course, Sarries are, let's say, top team with 9 points. Oh, no, wait. No mention of our 5 out. They hate us. We don't care. Is it because they struggle to find us on a map, do you think? Nobody knows where we are. What is the problem?
I have no idea. It does not make sense. We are playing sublime rugby.
But we're ever so nice.
Dr. Jones was actually musing that he said, if watched to lose, it looks like us on occasion.
Ooh.
And he's absolutely right. Some of the moves, the way we move the ball around, the way we switch it around, they do it more consistently than we do, but it's the way we play. Now, if we ever do get to play them, it'd be fascinating to see what happens.
You will, yes. Yeah. 3-3.
That's right. And both DuPont and Mitch get sent off. Yeah, there'd be something.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Anyway,
so
and Ramos,
Thomas Ramos, you are outrageous. That kick from inside his own 22 up the side of the pitch where the poor extra back caught it and thought, I've got time to run back in. And then he got flattened and gave away a penalty. Talk about turning defence into attack. That was
Is there
ridiculous.
more than one of him, do you think? It's like...
Just ridiculous. The skill there was just brilliant. So, in other news, there were two other games that we're interested in. Well done to Bedford Blues, who Dr. Jones said, are they trying to do us at Exeter last season when they went 17-0 down? Yeah. I could imagine Sherpa 2 chewing, his tongue in disgust. Yeah. Well done, Will Maisie. Last kick of the game, penalty, nerves of steel. They won it 2022. So
well done. Phew.
Well done. Never in doubt. So well done. I understand that there were calls by the players and the crowd for the lights to be put on because people couldn't see. As I said, it's
mobile phones sport. Being held up.
Everyone's holding their phones. They, of course, are going to Chinner this weekend, more like shortly, where they did have a few problems with lights last week. So, anyway. And then I saw Lightning play Quins.
Yeah.
Tough old
What's
day
happening there?
Office. Tough all day. Big hugs to everybody. They played their hearts out. You can't accuse that team of not trying.
No, you can't fault the commitment
effort,
at all.
Huge effort. Both skippers, the co-captains led from the front, Helen Nelson and Daisy HJ, they worked their socks off. So we've been there, ladies. We've, as it's not that long ago as Saints supporters, we were watching the boys and thinking, when's the win going to come? So, big hugs all round. Keep plodding along. Keep trying. It will come. Yeah. It was great to see Rachel Malcolm running up and down the side of the pitch. She did say that she was rediscovering muscles. But it was great to see. She's back, obviously, in training. And a big shout out. We had 2 horrific injuries during the game. So, I've never seen anyone screaming while standing up, which was the flanker, Nicole Wythe from Quins. Went in to tackle. Obviously, something happened to her arm. And she screamed. She was in real pain. So get better soon, Nicole. You were having an outstanding game. Really, really bad news. And a lady who we met when we had our interviews in the summer, Isla Curfey, oh bless your cottons, came on at loose head and something happened in midfield and stretched it off. So Isla, get better soon. Yeah, we need to see you in the African Violet as soon as you can, but have a rest up and we'll see you back. So it was a tough day at the office for the Lightning girls, but keep battling. Dr. Jones wanted me to mention your favourite player, Catherine Tredder.
Oh, yes.
Outstanding game.
Smiling all the way round, probably.
And hitting people very hard. He reckons that Curtis could learn a few things about his arrows because she hits the mark every flipping time.
Yeah, you see, Curtis would explain that it's not just about him.
That's
because
true.
all hookers will explain it's not just about them.
But remember, he at my IT department, he's a member of the Front Five Union, so feels able.
Yeah, but even so, he was a member of the Front Five Union, not the Front Row Union.
This is true. It's true, but he was usually the one doing the lifting, to be fair.
And no hooker will ever take the blame, the sole blame. Just putting that out there.
Interesting insight. But so Catherine had an outstanding game, and she has a fantastic accent. I'd never really heard her talk, and she was talking to Nathan Smith, who was stood in the stands, and so her voice was a little louder than I'm used to hearing it, and fabulous Alaskan accent. Wow. Right. Yeah, really. But she had a really good game. So keep battling all. Keep battling. It'll come.
Yes.
It'll come. So, and then Towcester, I hear that the International Man of Mystery is in... the International... His party schedule's got a bit heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was party central down at Tows on Sunday morning. So he didn't want to speak to the press. Things to do. People to meet.
Well...
Sugar rush to be had, I've no doubt.
Sugar rush to be had. Well, oh gosh. Well, okay, International Man of Mystery. I'm sure we'll hear from you soon. But Harry,
when he's ready. Harry, he's
Towcester Under 10's Mr. Dependable has given us another report.
He has given us a report, and it's a really sweet one, actually, along with Bobby the Balloon. Don't even ask.
Bobby the Balloon. Well, welcome, Bobby. Yeah. And
just watch the video.
My report is I got really stuck in and we won the cup final. Even though we were 2 players down, we won 2-1. It was amazing. We had lots of fun and I got a mention and I nearly got Player of the Week. This is Bobby. He's number 19.
Why don't you say what your coach has said?
Oh, my coach has said that they're really impressed. It's the first time they've seen me run 40 yards.
There we go.
Well, a new friend in Bobby. Well, there you go.
Yeah. And well done, Harry. He's, getting mentioned by the coaches and it's all...
He's really got stuck in now, hasn't he? He's got into the swing.
Absolutely getting there. Yeah.
Good on you, Harry.
It will happen. Yeah.
Good on you.
So, walking rugby, which wasn't on our list.
Oh, yes.
Walking rugby played Brackley. Brackley sent a team over.
Ooh.
I have no idea who won.
Are you learning this from Harry?
Yeah, pretty much so. But it's a very similar ethos, really. I don't know that anybody really knew who won. It was just fun. They came with exactly the right attitude. They were so much fun. They're such nice people. And they've invited us to play at Brackley, and we all went, can we come in the spring when it's nice? And they went, yeah, can we come back here in the winter? We went, yeah, of course you can. So that works really well. So it was a lovely evening, really nice people. Thank you very much, Brackley.
Excellent. Yeah. Well done the team. So it's a busy week for everybody, isn't it? So is it tomorrow that the Carol serve beef special thing is happening?
Evening. Yes, it is. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
He's behind you.
No, it's not. That's Jimmy, not beef.
Here every week. Well, I hope it goes well.
Yes, we'll let you know. It should be fun.
Excellent. And then, of course, it's a busy weekend of rugby because we're back to the Gallagher Premiership and the Championship continues. But I'm going to training on Wednesday.
Jolly good.
So I shall be wandering around outside in the cold, seeing lots of healthy people who've just come back from all that sunshine. Yes. We'll see. Anyway, so I shall be out in training this week, and then on Saturday, I've got a new ground to go to. I don't even know what it's called. I need to look that up. It's Chinner. Nick Easter's Chinner are playing Mikey Rare's Bedford Blues in the Championship.
Where exactly is Chinner?
At Oxfordshire.
Oh, right. Oh, sort of Tame. Sort of below Tame, is it? Sort of that way, is it?
That way. It's not. I mean, it wouldn't be that far for you to go, to be honest, in South Northants.
No, it wouldn't. Might do that. See what the weather's doing, because I'm still traumatised by the other Saturday and Coventry, so I'm not risking that again.
So Chinner had some fun with their floodlights a couple of weeks ago. That decided to
go kaput.
That was it.
I think they went foot. I think it's how lights go.
They were very cross. They went foot because they were actually beating Doncaster Knights at the time.
But the game hadn't been going on long enough for them to be able to win. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. 18-0 they were winning.
Oh, that's quite impressive as well, isn't it?
And then on Sunday, it's the trip to the Stonex. So they go from 35-degree heat
to a wind tunnel, to a Baltic wind tunnel,
London, which last year was Baltic. So if it goes to that temperature, I think we're going to. Oh, actually, I did send Lizzie Goodchild after the game virtual hugs because Lizzie and I have a little routine. Have a hug to celebrate any victories. Actually, we have a hug regardless of the result. So I sent her virtual hugs, which she acknowledged from Loftus Verveld. So, and last year, Lizzie was a block of ice.
Oh, yes. She gets very cold. I did send a message to Curtis after the game saying, simply be wonderful, because that's all there was to say, really.
There was. Yes, I think you're right. Yes, so the Stonex, hopefully it'll be slightly warmer and slightly less windy. It's a 3:00 kickoff. The lights are not great, so I think it might be big lens time.
Yeah, well, the Knights will be starting to draw out by then because it's the 22nd.
Yeah. So I'm not rushing out to get my swimming costume on,
Not that it'll be noticeable, but I think there are possibly a few seats left on the bus. Maybe if anybody wants to go down. And just another quick reminder, if you join the Saint Supporters Club for the princely sum of £10, £8 if you're a pensioner, you get the chance to go into a draw to win Captain's Club hospitality for the Bristol game. Ooh. So that is open to all Supporters Club members, obviously not committee members, so I won't be there unless I decide to pay for it, which I don't think will. So, yeah.
Now, one thing I'd like to mention
is
the IT department of moonlighting.
Apparently so. Well, there's two things from the IT department. They are trying to get a proper slot on here, which we need to discuss, dear readers, listeners. Confused. It's a Jane Austen novel for a minute there. We need to discuss that. We need your input from that, please. And also, if you'd like to say the series you are addicted to at the moment and what happened. So
some of us on watching the Netflix, and it is, of course, Black Doves, starring Ben Whishaw, Sarah Lancashire and Keira Knightley. Keira Knightley laying waste to various human beings across central London.
Interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting. And Ben Whishaw, he's just brilliant. However, last night in episode 4, I heard the sentence, "I need to contact the IT department." What's going on here?
Yeah. I've asked for a meeting with HR because I'm not sure that
Dr. Jones looked a bit shifty, is all I can say.
Yeah, well, to be honest, there's nothing new there.
So I don't know, and it all involves the Chinese ambassador in the plot line. So I don't know what they're up to, but I think we should be told.
Who knows? Well, my IT department had made no comment. He went no comment on it all. So I'm a bit. I don't mind if they're getting decent remuneration that we might see, but if they're doing it for love, I'm not that. Then there's going to be trouble. There is going to be trouble.
Absolutely. So, yes. So yes, the IT department want their own 30-second slot.
Yeah, it's just more your IT department, because my IT department went, well, I quite like the idea, but I don't have to be on camera, do I?
Well, he can hold the camera.
He could hold the camra, yeah.
He can be the camera operator. Which will probably be a phone of some sort.
Yes. So just explain this. So, Mr. Dependable's dad, Matt Litchfield, is the spreader of some of the worst dad jokes known to man. He puts them on Facebook, and some people laugh.
For terrible jokes, of course.
It is.
Yes,
but he does it all the time, and some of them really are so bad, and people laugh at them, which just encourages him. And it's anyway. Dr. T has come up with a suggestion. Mrs. J, you tell us what his suggestion is.
Dr. T is suggesting that he and Matt have Matt Litchfield's joke of the week.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. It's Ladies Wot Pod. I know it's hard for white men to get a foothold in the media. However,
well. So we're going to give it a go. It'll be an occasional feature, I think. I've suggested.
If we've got time.
I think you have to ration the number of Matt Litchfield dad jokes in any one period. But we'll give it a go. And in the dark days of winter, it might make us smile.
Can I just ask, has Dr. T actually spoken to Mr. Litchfield Senior?
No,
okay. Okay, we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, joined up thinking. And yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Don't hold your breaths, people.
So, yes. So he's going to have a chat with Matt.
Okie dokie. Please comment if you want to hear, or if you don't want to hear, dad jokes on the Ladies Wot Pod. Really not sure. So let us know what you think about that. And right next week, so we've got Sarries on Sunday, and then we'll have to decide whether we pod before Christmas or what. Really,
I think we need to do it before Christmas. Really,
we need to do a pod. Yeah, I could be up to me elbows in stuffing, but we'll try and organise something.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and you of course are away, aren't you? You are not doing. Oh, don't make me stop. Anyway, right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am going away for Christmas, and I'm being me and Dr. T are being pampered on the south coast.
I'm not.
I will not have my arms up in stuffing or anything. Thank you very much. Although Dr. Jones was asking about a swim on Boxing Day. It's like, no, that's not happening. Ridiculous. Don't be silly.
There was a time when I was at home. And it was many years ago, and my parents got married on Christmas Eve, so it was their wedding anniversary, and it was their silver wedding anniversary, and they decided to have lunch because we got with the family were there for Christmas, so I did, and I was doing the catering because I was between university and my first job, and the deal was I did all the cooking and housekeeping sort of and kept my dole money, so I catered for the lunch for 6, and then nibbles for a drinks party in the evening, and then had to prep the Christmas lunch sort of when the drinks party had finished. And so I was stuffing a turkey at 1 o'clock in the morning, fairly sober because I'd had to host this party. And the John Lennon song, you know, So This Is Christmas came on. And I just went, yeah, that's about right. On that note, humbug. And
Humbug, bar humbug. She doesn't
Bar
mean it,
humbug.
ladies and gents. She does not mean it.
No,
ladies and gentlemen.
I love it. I love it when we get there. I do. It's just the hysteria of the lead up. I get a bit eye rolly and huffy about. It's only a bloody roast at the end of the day. So on that note, so we will not wish you all Merry Christmas because we'll do a pod, though it might not come out. We'll wish you Merry Christmas in case you don't hear the next pod before Christmas. Then there we go. All bases are covered.
All bases are covered. Yes.
Some people will get a double Merry Christmas. Some people will only get one that way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That was episode
52. Thank you very much, all.
Of the Ladies Wot Pod. Have a lovely week, everybody.
See you all and bye.
Bye.
Excellent.